Broadcasting live, this is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill, like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. Honest Abe here, and this is KMA Talk Radio with my co-host, the Italian scallion himself, Paul DeGracco.
I had to wait for you to announce. I didn't know which one you were going to say first.
I like to pick it up. And of course, my left-hand man, the southpaw from South Philly, Alex Tavella.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
That's going to historically go down as probably one of the greatest gifts.
You want to see it? Because I got it.
Yeah, put it.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
Well, good morning to all our fans. We got a hell of a show for you today. We have Erik Espinosa, who will be coming on later on and talk about the upcoming La Zona Palooza that's set to break loose next week. And of course, we have the ever historic Glynn Loope, formerly now of the CRA. We'll be talking about, I'm sure, politics, the current state of affairs, and hopefully we're going to find out what life beyond lobbying is. So it should be a very interesting show this week. If it hasn't been an interesting week at all to begin with.
Seriously, man. How many times can you view? Do you even watch the news now?
I don't watch anything.
I love it.
I went to many years ago. I used to not ever follow politics at all. Just be completely out of it. In fact, I got more informed about politics when I actually got in the cigar business. But what a happier time of life that was. I just trudged along, did what I had to do, never really knowing, never really caring. But this is just like a mess, man. I can't watch anything anymore. And I called this. I said this would be the worst election ever. I told people weeks before that this would end up, good money said it would end up in the Supreme Court. And listen, the U.S. Postal Service can't deliver one of our packages right. It goes halfway around the world and gets lost.
It gets back to Florida.
Yeah. And this is what we're hinging our electoral process on. So I don't know, man. It's a mess. The sooner we get over this, the better. And
listen, I have money down that we're gonna have the first ever squatter in the White House. Once this all gets figured out, he's not leaving. Trump will go to his dying day without ever conceding or doing a concession speech, even if he really does lose. And if he does lose, he's not leaving. He's gonna handcuff himself to the Oval Office desk and just say, "I'm not leaving." But listen. I'll say this without getting too deep into the rabbit hole here. I will agree. The votes need to be counted. They need to be counted properly. This is the problem with giving the states all the power, though, really, right? Because everybody does it differently. Some of them count the day of ballots that day. They count the mail-in ballots 3 days later. They count the military ballots last. Why doesn't everything get counted at the same time? It's 2020.
Why wouldn't you want 100% transparency?
I agree.
Look, just make it simple so everybody's at ease. Have one representative from each side in every ballot place watching it, and then the whole country's at rest. I really don't think either side, can't accept the real loss. But when they create all this hysteria, when you see people being blocked out, not let in, and then the people inside are waving like, ha, 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 this petty childish. It's like, how do you have faith in what's going on? And I think that's the problem. I think poor Donald, whether you like him or not, I think he's totally getting the shaft. I think, he really should think long term, because anything he does now is just going to be bad for America.
Dude, he's running again in 2024.
Maybe. Vegas odds don't have him listed. You know who the favorite is in Vegas right now?
Oh, Kamala?
Nope.
So she'll be president. She'll be running for
She's
re-election.
third, actually.
Really?
You know who the favorite and odds right now to win in political futures?
Don't tell me it's Hillary.
AOC.
Oh God.
Biden is second if he's still alive or conscious. And honestly, he doesn't have to be conscious. He won this election without being conscious. So that's irrelevant. You just got to be alive, I guess. Like Weekend at Bernie's, they'll cart him around, for the election. And then third is Kamala.
Wow.
Yep. So,
like, what are the odds that like a regular person, because it's not doable, but let's say budget wasn't an issue. What are the odds that a person like any one of us, if money wasn't an issue, if somebody said, I'll give you all the funding that you need, that one of us could actually run for president and become.
So here's my take, and I don't want to get deep down because that's not what this show's about. I don't want to discuss it, but here's my thing. I think politics in general, all politics, has been this decades and decades of structuring and building, so all of them could line their pockets, Republicans and Democrats. If you think there are not Republicans that cannot wait for Trump to get out, you're dead wrong. And that's
some of them are speaking out now.
That's the problem, because listen, you want to know when people get crazy? You want to know when people get crazy and let loose a pandemic and start doing all this crazy stuff? When you fuck with their money.
Right.
Nobody likes to have their money fucked with. And I think Donald Trump has fucked with everybody's money. That's why they've unprecedentedly have tried to get this guy out. I think they never want an outsider in. These career politicians never want the scenario with an outsider in. And the only reason he won in 2016 is because no one thought it was even feasibly possible. He blindsided everybody, and they were never going to let it happen this year, and they'll never let it happen again.
I still think
If that was the case,
he
Bernie
didn't want to win
already.
No,
Yeah,
he didn't want to win. He's a lunatic narcissist. He wanted to win.
If they gave it to Bernie in 2016 and didn't steal it from him and he ran against Trump, I bet you Bernie would have won.
I don't know, man. Because I know too many liberals that are not Bernie fans.
Dude, Hillary was the most hated candidate ever in the history of America. Women hated Hillary Clinton. That's why Trump won. That's why Trump won.
Absolutely.
So I had a feeling if they didn't steal it from Bernie, Bernie would have won in 2016, which
Wow.
would have been all right because he's so off the charts. Nothing would ever get passed. Nothing would ever get
Right,
done.
that's true.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen now. If Biden gets into office, nothing's going to pass anyway because of the House and the Senate. So everybody will be fine. It's going to be status quo. Let's get it over with and everybody move on with their business,
want.
with their life. It's ridiculous.
My fear is that you got Biden up there. See, here's the problem. They're always stirring fear. At least with Trump, say what you want about him. He was always hopeful, prosperous, always looking to positivity. These guys just seem like they're spreading fear. This guy's already, his first speech, he's talking about the deaths of Corona. Did you see him almost cry on TV the other night?
Well, listen, more people died. I believe yesterday was the highest day of coronavirus cases in the history of this pandemic for our country.
Old news. Who cares? Corona. Corona's irrelevant right now.
Yeah,
Old
as long
news.
as the death rates aren't up, the more, look, I don't care if you do it now or you do it a year from now. The more people go out, the more cases you're going to have. It's just basic logic. So, when they keep quoting the case count, that's what bothers me. Why don't you quote the death count and the death rate? But anyways, let's steer away from this. Let's talk. Unfortunately, we're going to get Glynn. Well, I mean, look, we don't want to, people are saying, let's steer away from politics for a couple hours. But here's the problem. And I know when Glynn gets on, he's going to talk about it. Who's in office is going to directly affect what we do and what we love. I mean, unfortunately, we are tied to politics because the greatest threat to what I do every day, an industry I love, to the passion that all our listeners have with enjoying a cigar, our only threat is our own government.
Absolutely.
It's our only daily threat.
Especially in this industry, yeah.
Yeah, it's our only daily threat. I don't worry about the existence of my business, being able to run my business, being able to do what I want to do other than the government. Government's the only thing that keeps me up at night.
Just want to point out that my candidate wanted to abolish the FDA. I'll leave it at that.
Who was your candidate? Howie?
Joe Jorgensen, Libertarian candidate for president. Abolish both the FDA and the ATF, but I'll leave it at that.
So who would take over for the FDA? Well, that's just
Who would
for
take over
a
what?
different
The
show.
ATF. Listen, here's my
No, the
thought.
FDA. I'm talking about the FDA.
ATF should be the name of a convenience store, not a government agency.
Well, all right. Speaking of that, let's get
Speaking
into
of politics, right?
let's get into our first guest. As long as we're going to be edging on politics, let's
Yeah.
get to our first guest. This is the man who's basically spearheaded our lobbying efforts. I don't know. It feels like it's been at least a decade.
Yeah.
It has been a decade. Look at that call. Working nonstop around the clock, protecting your rights, our rights in the cigar industry. Everybody give a warm welcome to Glynn Loope. Welcome, Glynn.
Good morning, Abe. Good morning, KMA team. How are you?
Good morning, Glenn.
How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. I'm smoking the first cigar out of a box that I got from you.
Well, thank you very much. Much
The
appreciated.
Tatuaje Halloween.
Ooh, nice.
First
So-
one out.
So are you broadcasting from the home?
I am. We're outside the home office
Nice.
in my Boston legal chairs. I don't know if you knew about this story, but these are the actual chairs that William Shatner and Spader sat in Boston Legal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were a gift from my friend Brian Chinook. He said they needed a new home, so I'm sitting where Shatner sat at the end of Boston Legal every time.
You're probably sitting where Shatner shat too. So how many days are you into retirement now?
People keep using this word retirement. I'm way too young to retire from absolutely anything, but formally it was election night. Formally it was midnight election night. It was the way we timed it, and it was symbolic, in work through Obama and what's left of the first term of President Trump. If there's not a second term, who knows at this juncture? It's like Groundhog Day on the news behind me. So we'll see how this plays out. But there are indeed large implications for anybody that's passionate for premium handmade cigars, whether you smoke them, sell them, or make them.
That's what kind of I struggle with a lot, Glynn, because a lot of people who enjoy our passion, right? The cigars and what we do. And I see it a lot of time on social media. They're just really oblivious to the political implications of how it's going to affect us. And it seems like no one ever really gets worked up until it's too late and it's over.
Well, I've said this 1,000 times, the story 1,000 times over the decade, but when I first started helping the guys here in Virginia with the Cigar Association of Virginia, and I had Shorty Cable and Gary Pesh and Scott Regina and my local shop, Milan Tobacconist, all in a room. And I said, you're no longer just a tobacconist. You've got to build politics into your job description. And that was 2006 when I told those guys that. And it's truer today than it was then. And I go back to my very, very first industry meeting, April the 9th, 2009 in Miami. And S-Chip had been the great galvanizer for creating CRA, and that history. And I looked out over the crowd, and the president was just signing the Tobacco Control Act, and I said, S-Chip was just practice. It was just practice, because I knew that anytime you give a federal agency the power to do something, they're going to do it. And that's 12 months later, after the Tobacco Control Act was signed, they put their first notice in the Federal Register of their intent to regulate cigars. And fortunately, as an industry, and I do mean as an industry, we're able to fight that off until 2016 and fight it off to this day in both Congress, the courts, and a White House.
Now, what do you I mean? You're in DC. What's the word on the streets? What's the climate there?
Anticipation, wanting this to end one way or another, but a fervent belief by both parties, the leadership in Congress and the pundit community, and no doubt both presidential campaigns. Count every vote. Don't delegitimize the process and move on to the next step. A dear friend of mine, Dr. Heath Brown, who teaches political science in New York, wrote a book on presidential transitions, and he posted his article on the Hill newspaper this week that says, do not hold up the transition. You've only got 11 weeks before you're sworn in. Do not hold up the transition, no matter who you are. That there's too much at stake with protecting the political process. There's too much at stake with transitioning to either a new administration or transitioning this one. Let's play it down the middle. At stake, not to have a smooth, peaceful transition of power as our constitutional calls for.
Well, let me ask you your opinion. I mean, with all these rumors and videos that have been out there showing people in the room tampering with ballots and people who have been certified supposedly as dead and voting. I mean, does the transition of power supersede the right to have had a legitimate election?
There's time to figure out the legitimacy of every vote and every ballot. I mean, there is tampering. I don't doubt that there is some form of tampering, some form of honest mistakes that are made in every single election. I think the question becomes, are they statistically relevant?
Right. How much is it? I mean, is it 100,000 votes? Probably not, right?
If Biden's up 48,000 votes here, if Trump's up, 5,000 votes there, I think you really get into the point of, is it statistically relevant? I mean, there's only so many. I think we're beyond the Chicago era where entire precincts of dead people are voting. I think we're really beyond that. And I think there's a lot of safeguards in place, but does it happen? Absolutely. Is it statistically significant? I doubt it.
I think the only thing that really burns me about this whole thing, and like I said, I mean, look, I said it before and I say it again. I mean, if Biden's president, most of us are going to get up and just go to work the next day. We lived through Carter, we'll live through Biden. I mean, but
or we lived through Nixon.
Yeah, well, I didn't, so sorry.
I did. I was this big, and I remember the night my father pulled me into the room with the television, and it may have still been black and white in our house at the time. I'm not sure, but to watch Nixon resign. We had a constitutional crisis on our hands, and we survived it. This institution of democracy is strong enough to survive anything, even this point in time. This is just a flash point in time, and we will get beyond it. No matter who wins, no matter who loses, we will get beyond it. In 12 months, we'll be talking about some new scandal or, who got thrown out of Congress because of an intern or something. But we have a way of getting beyond these things, and what's causing too much of this is the 24-hour news cycle, and Absolutely. It creates a lot of hyperdrive that is not beneficial, if you will, to democracy. I know it's openness, and I know everybody loves the pundits, but I've gotten to the point where I listen to the BBC more than I do American television just to get the real story.
Amen. I do the same.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What gets me is I just don't know why. Because look, if you don't want to be guilty of something, don't give people reason to doubt. I mean, whether it's a partner I had or whether it's any kind of business relationship, I always want things to be so transparent that there's never even an opportunity for a partner of mine or somebody to say, hey, what's this about? It's right there. It's all evident. You can look at it yourself. Why not have just gone through all the possible measures to make sure that there could have been no doubt? Why create, whether it's just to create the chaos, why create the situation of the chaos where people just didn't want to be transparent about stuff?
It may be an absolutely silly analogy, but I said 2 days ago, it's amazing to me that Tesla can put a man into space and bring him safely back to Earth as a corporation, and we can't successfully run an election without a flaw. It may be a really bad analogy, but I'm thinking about if you need absolute perfection, it's blasting a human into space and bringing them back. Why can't we pull that off for an election process? Why can't we prevent foreign meddling in manipulating the social media process? Why are Americans susceptible to even being influenced by social media, for God's sake?
By design, Glenn.
Privatize the election.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but I believe
it doesn't get anything right.
I believe it's without a doubt by design. I think that America is 100% capable of having a foolproof election. I think they're 100% capable with the technology to do it and administrate it flawlessly. I do believe it's by design. They want to leave room for flaws.
All right, we'll move on from there.
All right. Well, that being said, let me ask first a question about the CRA.
Mm-hmm.
So, from what you have told us before, your position is not being replaced in the CRA.
That's the way I understand it.
Do you understand what's going to happen with the CRA? Because if somebody ain't running it, who's behind the wheel?
Well, I mean,
Great question.
we've got a great team. We've got an engaged board. The board's being diligent. They're having to. My going away present, if you will, was sending out 27 emails to try to raise some 11th hour money on Monday and Tuesday. I did that. There's still a diligent need to raise incredible level of resources to keep the fight going. Our political team is intact in Washington with Mike Copperman and Cody Cardin and Harrison Clark doing the operations and membership stuff. Gary Pesch, our mutual friend at Old Virginia, is on the board, is out in suburban Washington, and he's helped playing a really diligent role with the staff up there, making it sort of a second full-time job. And the PCA staff is very engaged, and it's there's not a lot of sunlight between the positions and the approach and the strategy. I've been talking strategy with PCA staff and our staff for the last 3 days, even though I'm not technically on the job, because it's another peaceful transition of power.
Well, I'm not going to lie. That worries me a little bit. I'm hoping that, everything will stay on course, because look, I've sat on many boards. And the problem that I've always see on boards is it's not our full-time job.
No, it's not. But we've got a highly professional staff in both organizations. And I think there's so much commitment to the process, and there's so much commitment to the mission of both CRA and PCA that you I truly believe this, should have absolute confidence in that process. And the next phase in all of this will play out and take care of itself, sort of like what else is going on in Washington. I think you should have absolute confidence in the process. I mean, we're already engaged on, as an industry, as to what's going on in the states and state legislation, and over 30 state legislatures coming into session in January. There's already a great deal of exchange about what the differences between the last Congress and the new Congress are going to be. There's already chat about how the cigar industry engages in the transition process, and the litigation process is also still very, very engaged, even though it's astronomically expensive, and the industry has got to do some serious soul searching as to how to pay these legal bills into the future. It's probably the number one threat looming over, more so than a presidential transition. The threat of how to pay for an expensive piece of litigation in an industry that should not have a problem figuring that out is probably, to me, the greatest looming threat over its head.
Wow.
$6 million worth of legal bills. It's accomplished what it was intended to accomplish. It's kept warning labels off boxes. It's kept the substantial equivalence and pre-market approval out of the industry. It has kept testing away from premium handmade cigars. It has facilitated the FDA declaring that we are the lowest hanging fruit as far as priority for enforcement. It has facilitated, and this is probably the greatest accomplishment of it, aside from pre-market approval and warning labels being kept away, is that it has allowed the courts and the agency and the FDA to agree that there needs to be a tight, narrow definition of what a premium handmade cigar is, and therefore admitting de facto that it does not deserve the level of regulation that they wanted to impose upon other tobacco products. And all that has been just since 2017. And that's going to have a huge bearing on if there's another presidential administration. The court decisions that have been handed down, the agency rhetoric that has been passed down in writing about the definition of a premium cigar will emphatically influence the next phase of the regulatory process if there is a new administration.
All true words.
Yeah. Wow.
The industry is positioned as never before to win. And there's some looming threats that I hope we have 60 seconds to talk about, but there's some serious looming threats under a new Congress.
Tell us.
And what's been decided in the courts and what's been put forth by the FDA in terms of low-hanging fruit, in terms of saying we're not a high priority for enforcement, by admitting we should not be a part of the pre-market approval process de facto, but if you meet the definition of a tight, narrow definition of premium handmade cigar, is an amazing place to be if there is a new administration. And real quickly, I mean, the greatest threat, put the FDA aside. That is truly the swamp. Put the FDA aside for just a moment. The industry is going to thank its lucky stars that there's a congressional coalition of bipartisan supporters, even going into the new Congress, because of Senate Bill 3174. There you go, right there. That is the biggest.
He's got it right there.
Epidemic.
That is the largest threat threatening the premium handmade cigar industry.
Which I find funny because I don't think kids are into tobacco at all anymore. They're all into vape.
Well, isn't it ridiculous that we've got a piece of legislation called It's ridiculous that we've got a piece of legislation called epidemic that it could impact premium handmade cigars. At the same time, Congress ought to be thinking about nothing but pandemic.
Right.
And there's a House companion bill to this that got through the House of Representatives last time, but this bill in the Senate, they're not open to amendments on this. And I'm not saying this in a partisan context, but if Sherrod Brown and their ilk could take over the United States Senate, this legislation serves a twofold threat. One, the ability to either become law through the United States Congress and signed by the next administration. That's one piece of the puzzle. Or this legislation becomes a roadmap for the new regulatory process, because this legislation would expedite all the FDA rules on all tobacco products. And, by the way, I mean, you ship me this box of cigars, right? Well, that would become illegal under this act. And fortunately, when this House version came up months ago, Congresswoman Donna Shalala and Congresswoman Kathy Castor, two Democrats in both, respected in their party in the House, helped spearhead an exemption for premium cigars. It wasn't perfect. It had a high price point, but the point was a liberal House of Representatives went on record for an exemption. Excuse me.
How is
the Senate's not open to that? And this could reopen the whole regulatory rulemaking process. And we're going to be thanking our lucky stars that there are court decisions and agency rhetoric in writing that backs up this industry's positions if this bill ever sees the light of day.
How does this happen when states are passing laws that legalizing cocaine?
Oh God, Oregon! I can't believe they legalized hard drugs.
And
time out. They decriminalized a little bit different. There's not going to be like cocaine stores in Oregon popping up.
Right. They just decriminalized.
But how are those epidemic?
It's the principle of what they did.
Yeah. I mean, how is it not a law? I mean, heroin is without a doubt probably the biggest problem.
I'm on the opposite side of this argument.
Oh, you think we should legalize heroin?
Absolutely. I don't think the government has the right to tell us what we can and cannot put in our body. What makes cocaine any different than alcohol when you truly boil it down?
All right, let's keep it on cigars.
That's a whole other show right there. Holy!
It really is. It really is.
But what it does highlight is how there's a serious case in our government at all levels, a serious case of misplaced priorities. I mean, we've got situations in North Korea, in Syria, in the Middle East, serious needs with public infrastructure, education, a pandemic preparedness that's absolutely ridiculous. And that's not a slap at how this one's been handled. The question is, how is the next one going to be handled? We've got these serious questions, and somebody's going to take up congressional debating time to talk about this, That's what should be insulting to the American people.
Right. Why is that a priority over all the other things going on right now?
We can count on the
and this legislation was triggered. And this legislation was triggered by vape, and it goes to the heart of what the problem is in many of these state legislatures, is that we get caught up in when OTP taxes are getting caught up in debates now. It's because of taxing vape and e-cigarettes. When they get new crackdowns on smoking bans, because of vape and e-cigarettes. When we get caught up in regulatory processes, whether it's in out west or on the East Coast or in the deep South in a state legislature, it's because of vape and e-cigarettes. And it's why this industry has to be ever so diligent in saying, just remember these words, we're not them. We're not them. And you've got to say it over and over again. And you've got, even if there's not a bill in your legislature, you've got to make sure your presence is being felt, which is what our guys in Virginia have done, what Feeney and them have done in Maryland, what Paul Groh and them have done in Wisconsin, what they're doing in New York. I could go around this country, state by state, and name you retail tobacconists in every state in the union that are taking their story to the state capitals, and they're not getting paid $1 for it to defend this industry.
Yep.
And it's simply remembering the phrase, we're not them, but you're going to have to do it over and over again, because vape and e-cigarettes and anything associated with nicotine has put this into the crosshairs of the political fight. And that's why this fight's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. And politics is permanently in this industry's job description. And how they pay for it in the future is going to be the great debate of the day. And that's the question this industry's got to get its arm around sooner rather than later.
Words to the wise.
Wow. Yeah, really. I mean, so Glynn, now that you're officially no longer head of the CRA, what are the plans that you can talk about? What will you be doing? Will you still be involved with the cause of the industry?
Well, of course I am, because it's a passion. It's a part of, you can't do something for 12 years with CRA and then the time that starting it with the guys here in Virginia in 2006, 7, 8, you can't do anything like that politically and not become an ingrained part of your soul. And I believe that. I think people ought to fight for what they believe in, whether they're paid for it or not. But I'm a lobbyist. I don't know anything else. I know politics. It's all I've ever studied. I was born into it. My father was an elected official. My grandfather was a sheriff. I think I was conceived at a national political convention, from what my parents tell me.
That's a story.
I mean, there's another piece of that puzzle. But anyway, it's all I've ever studied. It's all I've ever been. And I intend to be lobbying both Richmond and Washington. I intend to make my presence felt politically around the country. I think it's incumbent upon every cigar consumer who's passionate about this to be a part of the process, to be a part of CRA and PCA and the mission that those organizations embrace. I think anything you believe in, politics has to be in your soul. It's why my friend Larry Sabato at the University of Virginia puts out this sticker every year. It just says politics is a good thing. And it is. And if we're going to protect these institutions of democracy, if we're going to protect these passions that we have personally under life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the life, liberty, and the pursuit of great cigars, you've got to be engaged in the process. And whether it's something as simple as having a cocktail and a cigar, or something far bigger on, is my kid getting the best education they can possibly get? Am I driving and using the best public infrastructure that's possible? Or is my government going too far to the right or too far to the left? It's incumbent upon us to be a part of that process. And that doesn't go away because the job goes away.
Well, I think you just relieved a lot of people who are listening.
Well, there were a lot of questions in the comments. So are we still is he still gonna give his advice, consult, help? So that's a big sigh of relief among all of our viewers right now.
No, absolutely. And that process has already begun. I mean, even when I knew the end of my employment with CRA was near, Scott Pierce and Josh Abersky with PCA and I were doing joint state training on legislation that was we did a Northeastern seminar for all the people from Pennsylvania North. We did a Deep South seminar piece. We did a Western States piece, training and preparing community retail tobacconists to be engaged with their states and how to confront their state legislators and legislation come January. I'm making myself available for that hand and foot. And absolutely, I fully intend, whether anybody wants to listen or not, to offer my advice and counsel to the CRA, PCA, the Boutique Association. I've had great talks with Gabby. I want to support them and help them in their mission to help the boutique brands and what the Boutique Association is and can become. I've been off the clock, if you will, since midnight election night, and already I've had discussions with PCA staff on state legislation that could be blossoming, and I've already, provided some concepts for communications from CRA that'll be forthcoming over the next several weeks. I'm gonna be lobbying the government, whether I'm doing it purely for cigars. I reincorporated my lobbying consulting entity that I had between 2001 and 2008, Commonwealth Advance. to play a role in a sundry of subjects that I believe in. And there's always enough room for another lobbyist. And whether it's Washington, Richmond, or states across this country, I'm too much of a political junkie not to be engaged on anything that I believe in.
Well, so lobbying is without a doubt still in the future for Mr. Glynn Loope. And I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your morning to come catch us a little bit up to speed on what's going on and what's ahead and when the future for the cigar industry. And I can pretty sure I feel I can speak for everyone watching our show, listening, and all of us here at KMA, that we do wish you all the best in any future endeavor you have, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. And I can't thank KMA enough for the support they've provided. I was trying, but I don't think my iPad calendar went back that far, but I was trying to calculate the number of times we've had this conversation on a Saturday morning, and it's been dozens. And it's been a wonderful way to spread the gospel. I cannot thank you enough for what Great Smoke has meant to our membership rolls and your personal and corporate contributions that you've made monetarily, personally, to this organization and to this cause. And I know that won't waver.
Never.
And we got to remember, Florida is the political epicenter. Listen, if I part with any message, and I was honestly, if I leave with any level of disappointment, it's in this. But this is a part of this is what keeps political junkies going. It's what ought to keep the cigar industry going, is that as hard as we've tried, and I could give you a lot of detail that we can talk about in another show or an article or something, but to prove to major political candidates that Pennsylvania and Florida are the economic axis of the premium cigar industry. And I said this in 2009, and I believe it today. And I think we've made a lot of progress in this regard, or we wouldn't have accomplished what we have in the courts or Congress or the White House. And there has been, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. Every time there's a delay in a rule being implemented, this industry saves money. And it's a real number that the delays and the court actions have resulted in nearly $500 million worth of savings to this industry. And I'll be glad to debate that on any platform with anybody, anytime. But we have so much to go at showing the major political parties that you shouldn't even enter Florida. Don't even come into Pennsylvania until you've spoken to the premium handmade cigar industry. And by God, you just might need them to be president of the United States. There was diligent efforts to get the message across to both the Biden administration and the the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign of what we are capable of doing. You know, what would Al Gore do for another 5,000 votes in Florida?
Right.
I mean, and if this thing had been even more narrow in Florida, I shudder to think about what the cigar industry could have done if either party had totally embraced our message. Well, they can embrace it on guns. They can embrace it on drugs. They can embrace it on political reform. They can do it for us, knowing that we are an economic axis that spans from Pennsylvania to Florida, and don't even think about crossing the state line until you talk to the premium cigar industry for support. And if I leave with any messages for the next 4 years, prepare for that once more.
Absolutely, Glynn. What a great message.
Wow.
Thank you, sir. Appreciative. Give our love to the missus. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend.
She's upstairs smoking a cigar with a visiting friend of ours as we speak. Where I'm gonna take this.
She's watching now. She just commented.
And she loves you.
I'm not looking to the heavens. Wonderful. I'm looking up. She's up there. But
I just want to say it's good to see you without a bow tie.
Hey, but
casual Glynn.
Casual Glynn Loope. My man.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Let's do this. Anytime you need a political commentator, no matter whether it's about cigars or not, give me a call. We're available.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
We'll call it Cigar Crossfire.
We always need. We always love good contributors. Absolutely. So thank you very much for that offer. We will definitely be taking advantage of that, my friend. Thank you.
You got it, kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Did he just call us kids? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't been called a kid in forever.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. You still are almost a kid, Alex.
I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp.
I'm on the cusp.
I like to call 30 to 40 the light years. Like that's when literally life becomes like light. It just travels at light years. I remember my 30th birthday party was epic. like epic. They're still talking about it, almost 20 years ago. All right. Actually, Brandy blew me off that night. She didn't come to my party and she was supposed to. Yeah, we weren't dating yet. I was working it, and she was supposed to come and give me some bullshit excuse about, she had to watch her roommate's kid who babysitter didn't show up. Anyways.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So anyways, but I just remember being single, having this great party, or everybody was there. And next thing I know, I'm 40 with kids. I mean, it's just like that. So I call 30 to 40 light years. So
yeah, I mean, I'm 38. I feel like this is like really the last year of my 30s. Like 39 is just like, you're almost 40. It's not even really, it doesn't even really count.
I'm 37. I'm going to be 38 this year. So
I'm older than you.
I feel the same way.
I'm older than you.
You are, yeah.
Well,
1 year.
I look so much better for my age. Thank God.
Here's the story of my life. But I've always looked older. It's weird. But I think that maybe that'll be good for me when I get old. Maybe I'll slow down.
I always looked
Benjamin Unbutton
when I was younger. Like I was buying beer at 15. Like I remember I couldn't drive. I'd go to the liquor stores. We'd get cases of beer and have to walk to the Forest Preserve because none of us had driver's licenses. Literally. So that
was when the drinking age was 18?
Well, Dave, I've seen pictures of you at 15. You're like 6'4", full grown facial hair. I mean, I wouldn't card you in a store.
The only difference is that he has hair then.
Right.
That really is the only difference. A little bit thinner.
It wasn't a lot of hair either. I graduated 8th grade, like 6 feet, 225 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was a grown man, literally. So I remember because I went to a Catholic high school, and there was no facial hair allowed. So I would literally try to let my stubble grow as much as I can for the weekend. So I looked a little bit older
than everybody else.
And then the dean caught on to me and he would start hunting me down on Fridays looking for me. And they would make you go shave in this office with a razor from 1972 with no shaving cream whatsoever. And I started getting good and started bringing my own razors to class.
That's the difference. They when I first got my first ever headshots when I was 17 years old, the guy had a straight razor, and this is not that long ago. He had a straight razor in the studio. He's like, if you need to shave, I have a setup here. And then I got headshots from the same guy. I think you're supposed to get them every 7 years. My agent at the time said I needed new ones, whatever. I got fat. So it was 5 years later, I went in there. He's like, we don't have any of that stuff here. It's all out. You can't have that. You can't share razor, blah, 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 blah. So that shows your age there, that they had a razor that other people had used that you could
communal use.
What? Melanie is surprised that I got headshots. Yes, I was an actor for most of my 20s.
Melanie doesn't know that you were almost what's his name, Billy, whatever his name is.
You know what's funny? I came across the article.
Tell Alex, he probably doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know the story.
I came across the article the other day. So when Billy Mays died,
Paul was runner-up for Billy Mays. He was
he was. They held Telebrand.
Billy Mays.
Wait, I just saw the picture. Damn it! It was on the cover, or it was in an article in Ad Age. I can't find it now, but I funnily came across it yesterday when I was going through pictures, getting ready for the show, and it was like a regular audition, but it was like the second runner-up. The guy that they chose, here it is. The guy that they chose, they never actually ended up using, but I did a full. Listen, man, these companies are difficult. Here, I have the picture here. It's this is me auditioning. This is my first audition for Telebrands. That was in Ad Age. It was in Advertising Weekly. It was in Newsday. I mean, it was in a lot of newspapers. I mean, I created my own buzz for it, obviously.
With the hair, bro, you couldn't have groomed yourself a little bit?
Well, I used to have a faux hawk type thing.
No, dude, that's just called
what? Oh.
Yeah, that's just called balding, man. That's not a faux hawk. That's balding, Paul.
Well, anyway, we have another guest.
We have another guest. Okay, let's go to the break early. Let's not bring him on and then cut him off in a few minutes.
Right.
Let's go to our break early, and we'll be right back after this really short break from our sponsors. With
Are we doing a one? Are we doing a one or a two?
Do the one.
Okay.
We're just
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. I meant to text you that earlier. I forgot, but we're gonna go to a quick short break. Be back after the break with Mr. Bro himself, Erik Espinosa, and we're going to talk up Mamma Mia, and we're going to talk about what's going on in La Zona Palooza, which is getting ready to launch off next week. Stay tuned.
I can't wait.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Elmer Suárez, de La Flor de Copán, en Honduras.
My name is Ernesto Kranwinkel, and I'm from La Romana, Dominican Republic.
Hola, mi nombre es Diana, soy de Manizales, Colombia.
Díaz, Freddy Molina desde Estelí, Nicaragua.
Hola amigos, saludos a todos. María Santis, orgullosa de ser puertorriqueña.
Cheers, I'm Oliver, I'm from London, England.
I love H. Upmann Añejo.
My favorite H. Upmann Dominican cigar is the H. Upmann Banker.
My favorite H. Upmann cigar is the Hermannsbach.
Favorite H. Upmann is the H. Upmann by AJ Fernandez.
Mi cigarro favorito es H. Upmann Española.
I highly recommend you try the H. Upmann 175th anniversary, awarded number 10 cigar of 2019.
One world together with H. Upmann.
Surgeon General warning: cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes.
And we're back.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of KMA Talk Radio. Honest Abe here with my hosts, Paul DeGracco and Alex Tavel. We had a very interesting half with Glynn Loope, just talking about the current state of affairs and our government, the cigar industry, some future threats. So if you're joining us and didn't catch that first hour, check it out later. It's definitely worth the watch.
Great segment.
Yep. Up now is one of my oldest friends in this industry. We literally both met at the beginning of our careers, and one of the storytellers, and I won't say best poker players, but my good friend, Erik Espinosa of Espinosa Cigars. Welcome, Erik.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's up, bro?
Where are you broadcasting from?
I'm in the warehouse.
Okay. Are you?
Can you raise your camera up a little bit so we can see
you're
your
only
face?
getting your bottom half of your eyeglasses.
Dude, hold on a second. That's right. Hold on a second.
This is no surprise.
Hold on.
Oh, now we lost him.
This is
No,
no
I
surprise.
took him
No
off. I took him
surprise
off.
there.
You took me off. Is this good?
Good. Now we can top half of your eyeglasses.
All right. You need lower?
That's better. That's better right there.
All right.
I think that's as good as we're gonna get.
I mean, not if he raises the phone.
I got my iPad, dude. I'm like, I listen. I have a cigar box. I put a Robusto. I put a Lancero underneath, and that's all I got, bro.
Are you putting the sticks or the box?
I got the box. You need it higher or lower, dude?
Higher. Go get somebody to go get a couple cigar boxes.
There's nobody here, dude. It's you think my guys work at this time, bro? Are you kidding me?
My guys.
Junior's not there. Junior's
No.
Junior's there. Every time I talk to him, he's at that place.
No, dude. Bro. No, he's not here. Hold on a second, bro.
Just lower the chair a little bit.
I'll lower the chair. Hold on.
Ask Jack and Hector to teach you how to do this. They're pros at this now.
No, bro, it's your mouth only.
Is this good?
No. I can't even see your eye.
That's why I told you let's get it earlier.
Whatever you're saying is whatever.
Listen to me. I'm gonna solve it for you. Go get a little matchbook or a cigar and slip it under. I don't know what you got your iPad on. Slip it under the front of your iPad so the screen tilts up a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Let's go lower. Is this better?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there.
Okay.
I'm not even going to attempt to ask you to center it. Don't worry.
No,
don't.
Listen,
touch anything.
I'm holding the cigar box with my left hand. I got the ashtray holding to the right. I don't want to mess it up.
Don't fucking sneeze, man.
Right. Yeah, don't touch it. Don't. Yeah, there you go.
So how are things going in preparation?
Now I lost.
We got you.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh my god.
We did the test was perfect.
Yeah, well.
I'm pretty sure he probably accidentally hit a button.
Is he muted? Did he mute himself? He's getting his phone. Maybe he's texting you.
Now I can hear you. I lost the sound for a while. Okay.
You can hear us now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Here we go.
Let's get the interview going. Dear God.
So tell us, how are things down at the warehouse there in preparations for La Zona Palooza, which for the first time ever, is going to be a virtual event. Tell us, I mean, how you came to that decision. And yeah, there it is.
Well, every year at this time, you guys come down and we do the show down here at in Hialeah Gardens. This year, we named it "Wish You Were Here" because we can't do it because of this COVID bullshit. But it's a tribute to all the guys who post our cigars, who smoke our cigars all year round, and we wanted to do something. It's like ain't no stopping us now. That's the way I look at it. We're gonna get it done no matter what. My team and I, we're like the Energizer Bunny. We're gonna keep going and keep going. There's nothing gonna stop us. So we decided to do it virtual. What are we doing? We built some packages, and they're just limited cigars that you can't get in any shop or what have you. So
these packages were only available to the people that you would have invited to La Zona Palooza, or elite members, or how did?
Correct. We open it up to more people, but we cater. Yes, we cater to the people that come down here to La Zona Palooza. So everyone got their packages. Well, not yet. I think California will get them in a couple of days. But our event's on the 12th and 13th, between 6 and 10 o'clock, Thursday and Friday. And we're gonna give them a access code to get on, and we're just gonna get on. BS talk. We got some special guests. I think it's going to be a great time. Again, we're not going to stop doing things that we do just because of this COVID bullshit.
So, how many people would you normally invite down for La Zona Palooza? Because I know we come down and do the video broadcast from KMA show from there every year, but by Saturday morning we don't get a lot of your attendees who trickle in because they're partied or whatever.
They're drunk.
They're drunk. Yeah. So we get half a dozen or a dozen people. It's a great show, but how many people typically do you invite to come down annually to this event?
About a couple hundred. The problem is that nobody else fits it here. It's hard to find a venue. I don't need to tell you that. We look for venues. Yeah. It's tough to find a venue, and it's
hard. It's hard for you to find chairs sometimes.
It's hard for at least good chairs. It's hard for us to find good chairs. Yeah.
How many chair deaths has La Zona Palooza caused?
11.
11.
Yeah, 11.
He knows because he got the invoice for the chairs.
11. I mean, they were dropping like flies this one year, and I called the guy, "Hey, dude, I need stronger chairs." He goes, "Those are my strongest chairs." I mean, you guys are in the industry. You guys seen some of these guys that smoke cigars, And I get nervous, dude. Dude, it's crazy. Don't sit here. Don't sit in this chair here. Let me get you.
I made them go pull an office chair when we did KMA. I said, "There's no way I'm sitting on one of those chairs."
Bro, I had to make a pallet one day and put cushion on it because this guy was really big. I'm not gonna put him out there like that, but we put like 5 pallets and put a cushion on and everything, and put a pallet in the back to rest his back and stuff. And
made him like a bench. Nice.
Yeah, and we wheeled him around with a pallet jack. It was cool. He was great. Yeah, we did. It's a true story, bro.
I mean, I remember Erik was pointing out. This was probably 2 years ago. Erik was pointing out people. He was like, you don't sit in those white chairs. You definitely don't sit in that chair. Don't sit. He was like, I can't believe I have to do this.
So a couple hundred people you normally invite, and these are people you select via process of who has supported you the most or showed you the most love on social media platforms. Yes,
that's correct.
Okay, so how did you do it this year? How were people able to join it? Did they have to be elite members? Did they have to get an invitation from you to be a part of La Zona Palooza? What changed in the virtual way of doing it?
Well, down here, it gets expensive. I don't need to tell you that. You know how it is. So what we do is, we sell some packages just to get the cost. We make no money on this. It's just, trying to get some of the money back to pay for the food and the entertainment and what have you. So this year we did it through we did it through Facebook. We did it through emails and what have you. And
could anybody have bought a ticket? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, anybody could have bought a ticket that through a friend or what have you. How he found out about it, it could have been through a friend or somebody who comes down. Look, we want to make this bigger.
Right. So there wasn't a selection process. You didn't limit it like
no, we didn't do that. No, okay. No.
So anybody buys a ticket to the event, and then are they the only people that get to watch it then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's going to be closed.
We're going to do some stuff through Zoom, Facebook Live, and what have you, to get a lot of people involved. You know, I don't handle the tech part of the.
So you're not even really sure what's going on.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Okay,
I just know what time I got to be.
What I'm trying to find out is like,
can anybody watch?
Watch what's going on?
Yeah. We're gonna be on. We're gonna be on Facebook Live. Yeah, we're gonna be on Facebook Live and Zoom. Yeah, but we're gonna have in Zoom. It's only the guys that bought a package. They're gonna be engaged with us. Everybody else will have.
Anybody else can watch.
Yeah. Everybody but Alex.
Everybody but.
I feel bad. I get invited all the time, but it's always around my son's birthday, so I've actually never gone.
Dude, you want to legalize cocaine, bro? I just heard that.
You want to go down that road?
No.
Do we want to go down that road?
No.
I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference?
There's a big difference.
There's no difference.
Cocaine, your Johnson doesn't get hard if you do cocaine. Why do you want to do cocaine for? Bro?
I don't personally want to do cocaine, but what's the difference? I mean, who's worse on the road? A guy all coked up or a guy drunk out of his mind?
Both.
I disagree.
Both.
I disagree. More importantly, I don't need the government telling me anything that I can or can't be putting in my body.
Dude, it's bad. You probably kill somebody driving under the influence of cocaine down the road.
It gets done under alcohol all the time, but that seems to be okay.
Well, that should be a problem. I agree with that.
Wow.
Okay, so let's say you could do cocaine only in your house.
Right.
All right.
And then you can't leave.
Whatever people do in their house, I can give 3 shits.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, if we take that to its logical conclusion, then there's cigars. Cigars are bad for you. You shouldn't be able to do cigars.
Cigars are not bad for you, bro. One of the biggest causes of illness is stress. Number one stress reliever is smoking a cigar. Okay.
Amen.
All right.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
You figure that one out. You go ahead and drink a Coca-Cola or eat a Whopper or a Big Mac, and that's bullshit. That's gonna fuck you up.
So let's stick on Lazona Walk our listeners to what's going to be expected come Thursday. What time does it start on Thursday?
At 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern time.
And what time does it go through? Is it end time, or you guys going to go to whenever?
Whenever. It's supposed to be to 10, but whatever.
All I know is that if you guys pull this broadcast off, I'm feeling so much more confident about the Great Smoke.
Listen. We did like a pre-run about maybe 6 months ago, and it worked out perfect. I engage with everybody. The reason why we're doing it some through Zoom and have all the guys there, because I start messing with everybody that comes on, and I can engage with everybody.
The Zoom people will be guys who have gotten tickets, and they can interact with you directly.
That is correct.
Okay. Will there be special cigars for those Zoom people?
Well, yes, they already got them. I mean, most of them got them. We shipped out. We started shipping out on Monday. But California people on the West Coast haven't gotten theirs yet.
But what are you going to do when you start the event? Is it just going to be you talking and telling stories and doing magic tricks, or do we have anything like real exciting and fun planned for 2 days?
Yeah. No. Yeah. We're gonna start. I'm gonna start talking. Of course. We got some special guests coming on.
Who do you got coming on?
It's sort of a surprise.
No teasers?
Are they all? Listen. Are they? What do you got? One guest coming on? You can't tell us.
No, we got several guests coming on. You're coming on, aren't you? You're
well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else do you have scheduled to coming on that's not a guest? You have, from what I understand, you were telling me you're gonna have some other retailers on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have some retailers on.
Anybody we know?
No, you'll find out. Tune in and you'll find out.
Wow, this guy's
not giving us nothing.
Who's coming on your show next Saturday? I don't know.
Jonathan Drew.
Oh, okay, nice. Enjoy. He's a good dude.
No,
good friend of mine.
That's how we do it. I tell you.
Hey, you're a week.
But you're wrong. That's not next week.
That's not next week.
You see, you don't even know who's coming on your show next week. What the?
It's Omar Fernandez.
Oh, okay. Now, good luck. Good luck. Omar's a good friend of mine. Good luck with that.
The banner.
In fact, you put me on with Omar. I wouldn't have talked to him. Omar is like one of, I ended up having a great relationship with this guy. So he's been really good to work with.
Nice. Yeah, he's a good dude.
I'm telling you, I was shocked because we wanted to, we have our connoisseur club starting out, which I'll tell people that you're participating in 2021. It'll be a new type of subscription program. And we really wanted the people from AJ Fernandez to be involved in our connoisseur club. And I remember you telling me, I'm like, man, I just can't talk to anybody there. They're just hard to really and you say, talk to this guy, Omar, man. He's He's really good, whatever. And we've been in touch, and the guy is great. We got a couple other surprises slotted for 2021 with AJ Fernandez.
I'm a rep at heart, bro. Do I get commission off of your account? Or
yeah, bro, you're like commission. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So,
hey, here's a big question, because this is the highlight usually of Lazona Palooza. Will there be karaoke? Will you be singing your trademark song?
Absolutely. No, we switch it up because the name of this year, we named it Wish You Were Here.
You're going to sing Pink Floyd instead of Four Non Blonde.
That is correct.
Now,
that is correct.
Now, can people still get Lazona Palooza tickets, or is it done?
No, it's done. It's done. You know, we had to do logistically. It had to be done because they had to get.
Next time, don't schedule the show so close that the tickets are all gone. It's a little piece of marketing advice.
Listen,
I'm here to help you out.
You blame that on Paul and
you're the one that wanted this week. You called me,
dude. You know.
Wow, Erik Espinosa threw me under the bus. I don't know how I should feel.
Hey, listen, by the way, Billy Mays, didn't he die on a plane, not a plane crash, but he hit his head on the top. I guess there was turbulence or something like that. Is that the way?
Yeah, they said he hit his head on the plane, but he was also, speaking of coke, he had allegedly been doing a lot of cocaine at the time.
Yeah,
and it thins your blood, and a lot of issues based on that. He had some kind of a brain issue after he hit his head, and
well, there you go, Alex.
You know
cocaine related.
You know what else thins your blood? Alcohol. Paul, can we get the video one time?
That was sad.
Can we get the video one time, Paul?
Video one time or what?
Oh yeah, we have a video. Hold on one second. We have this a lovely feature.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
You gotta play that like 2 or 3 times in a row. It doesn't have the same effect.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. Dude, that outfit's mamma mia, mamma mia.
That outfit's legendary.
That's my dog's outfit, dude.
That outfit is legendary.
For real.
What is that outfit from? And what? Like, I don't think everybody here knows where that video was captured. They just see it plastered all over Facebook. I do know, because I asked Abe.
It was the event we did. It was like the preliminary event that we did, and my wife always dresses my dog up, so she had him dressed up like a king. So I told her, take that off. So you could tell it doesn't fit my head, whatever. So I put the robe and the hat on, and that's how we started the show. I didn't think it was going to be on, and I didn't think they were able to capture that shit, but they kind of tricked me into this shit.
So, I've seen some of your packages out there.
Yes.
All right, guys post and everything. In fact, you're wearing a shirt right now, which in the original camera angle, it looked like a big penis on your shirt. And
no, it's not a penis. Let me see. Let me see. There you go, right there. You see it right there? Yeah.
Okay, so this is a very interesting shirt. Care to expand on what is the meaning of the shirt?
Hell yes, I would care to expand. Well, there's a guy. I'll let you guys figure it out up there in the Northeast that he has an issue with my La Bomba cigar because it has a wick on it.
How long has that brand been out?
Dude, the brand's been out, 15, 16, 17 years? I don't know exactly. I don't have the date on me.
And this is coming to fruition now, this argument?
No, this has been going on for a while.
Oh.
So, 9 years ago, I took over the brand from Eddie. Eddie went on his own way, and I took over the 601s and all that. And then I find out that this gentleman has an issue with the wick. So I find out, and everything that I try to do in my life, Abe, I try to do it like a man.
An issue with the La Bomba cigars.
Yes, because it had the wick on it. So. You and I get along. I know you're a pain in the ass most of the time, but you're a man's man, and you tell me what you feel, and I tell you what you feel, and what and afterwards we go have a beer. But this bullshit, him talking and talking shit about me and what have you. So I did what I was supposed to do. I got on a plane. I went out there. I sat down. I made an appointment with the guy. Sat down. I talked to him, and I told him, listen, what's the issue? Let's figure this out. And he shook my hand, and I told him, look, I swear on my life, I didn't know you had a wick in your cigar. Look, I don't know your house brands.
Well, that's a mistake. That's a mistake that's constantly made in this industry is people who make something think everybody knows what they make. right?
Right.
I've been I've been guilty of it a couple times. Like, you know, I can't follow everything that everybody does. And I'm a retailer, so I'm more in tune. Manufacturers have always been the worst. Like, you got no clue what somebody else doing. I'm like, you really didn't hear that? You didn't know that? And 90% of the time, they don't. You know, so it's a common thing.
And this was before social media, you know, before Facebook.
Right.
You know, so how the hell do I know what brand he has? But the manufacturer that was making it was the same manufacturer at the time. So, you know, I take a flight. I do what I'm supposed to do, what a man should do. I go down there and I take a flight, and I sat down, had to sit down with him. I told him, look, you can bring me a stack of Bibles. I'll put my hand on a stack of Bibles. I did not know, you know, you had a cigar with a wick on it. Now, would I have still done the cigar? I don't know. But, you know, I was never given that option because I never knew about his cigar.
Right.
So we shook hands. You know, I even went back because he gave me a cigar that was one of the best cigars I ever had. It's that, and I'll say it, is that Atabey that you know, that he sells. So I even went back, bought more of that Atabey. He invited me back up, and we talked for a little bit, for another 10, 15 minutes, and everything was fine. So he said, look, I'll start carrying your brands. I didn't do this for him to carry my brands. I could care less. So I'll go to the shows, and
I'm just curious. I'm just curious about a timeline here, right? So you released your brand 15, 16 years.
Yeah, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago when I flew out there. Yes.
So a decade goes by.
Yes.
Where there's an issue because he has a cigar with a similar long pigtail.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So 4 or 5 years ago, you take the time. Now, did you know about the issue for the 10 years, or did it just come to your attention?
I did not, because what I used to do, you know, Eddie Ortega used to run the company, and I was the rep in Florida because I still had a job to do because I was still repping. You know, Eddie would do everything else but Florida, so that was his and I deal. You know, I'd rep in Florida, you know, and try to do as much as I can in other states, but his job, you know, was to run the whole country. So he knew about it, but, you know, and he's the one who told me afterwards. I never knew about it. So I did the right thing, like a man's supposed to do. I went out there, like I said. You know, we left. I shook his hand, and he said, look, the trade show's coming, and I'm going to go by, and I'll place an order and carry the brands and all this, and yada, yada, which is fine. No big deal. I didn't do it for that reason. I just don't like nobody out there, you know, bashing my name. I work too hard for anybody to bash my name. And I'll tell all your listeners out there, if anybody ever has any issue with me, pick up the phone, call me. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to talk about stuff like right away when I have a problem with somebody.
Sure, let's talk about it.
Right on it. I like it. Which I had to learn in marriage. I had to tone that down because women are the opposite. They don't want to talk about stuff right away. So that was always a conflict early on in our relationship. Like, I mean, we got a problem. Let's talk about it. Why do we have 4 days?
Listen,
it's still the biggest issue. Women
is a whole different.
You got to learn as a man. You just got to bear with it. Listen, I'm telling you, it was my biggest conflict in my relationship early on. I think I always wanted to deal with it now. It made no sense for me for us not to talk, to be upset for 4 days when we know we're going to get over it anyway. Why waste those 4 days?
Yeah,
right. Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, 4 days is a long time without you getting something. Yeah, boy. 4 days is a long time, boy.
If you have an issue and you have to bring to Abe and somebody else is involved, you better be prepared to have that other person pulled into the room right now. Otherwise, don't even tell him because it's coming right now.
But that's what men do.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. So I did the manly thing, and then here comes the trade show. He sends his daughter and his manager, which very nice people. Daughter, beautiful person, you know, comes by, gets a price list, no big deal. He doesn't show up, but he doesn't show up probably because he was busy, because he distributes other people. Not a big deal. Okay. He never brought in the brand, no big deal. But he kept bad-mouthing me. So about 3 months ago, he had on this radio show, you know, he has
3 months ago now.
Yeah, this is 3 months ago. He has Nick Perdomo on.
So this is going on for almost 2 decades.
This is going on for 2 decades, bro. But I didn't know anything about it. Remember, I was just a rep in Florida.
Holy cow!
Even though I own 50% of the company, I was just repping in Florida. I didn't know this was going on. I found out this about 4 or 5 years ago. So every time he has his radio show, you know, he has, you know, he's bashing me, and not just me, other people that I hear, anybody who has a wick. So, I got pissed. I got tired. I got tired of it. So, look, I got nothing against the guy. I really don't. I can care less. I did what I'm supposed to do. If he wants to squash this, now he's got to fly into my town and sit down with me. I already did what I had to do. If he wants to continue bad mouthing me, then he's going to have a big problem. That I can tell you, because I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? Because if you notice, I haven't even mentioned his name, okay? But again, I want him to know I got nothing against the guy. He's got a business run. But this is the ironic part. He says that I copied him. Hey, what's the name of my company before it became Espinosa Cigar? What was the name of my company?
Before it became EO Brands.
EO Brands was the
United Cigar Company.
United Cigar. Do you know the name of his company?
I don't know. I mean,
United. United.
It's just one of those things that, look, I think everybody, look, I'll tell a story right now. It was really funny, when we came out with Red Meat Lovers Club, which is the Red Meat Lovers Club 2021 Meat Box Express is going to drop hopefully this month. But when we had come up with it, right, it was just per chance. We had Saka in the studio with Evan Darnell from the Red Meat Lovers Club. We talked about it, and everybody thought it was a great idea. And look, it's red meat, and my dad's a butcher, right? So the first thing that came to mind was to put this thing in butcher paper, and it's just like it was a natural evolution of thought. We put it in butcher paper, we make it look like a beat pack. Never once in my life thinking that Pete Johnson made something that came in a meat package, right? Because that thing that he made was a limited rare thing. I don't think I've ever seen it in 25 years, or I've seen it once. So it was never even in the forefront of my mind. So, he texted me a little picture as a hi, and I just explained to him, and he was cool. Like, he got it. Look, I mean, he didn't think like I saw his package and said, oh, I'm going to do that. It just happens in this industry, and it happens honestly. And look, I ain't going to lie. Sometimes it happens out and out blatantly, right? I mean, people are just like, they're determined to try to ride on some success you had or some great idea, and sometimes it happens blatantly. But honestly, I see it more often than not. It's just a natural mistake, and I think I don't care who it is. I think at some point we've all kind of had it happen to us, and you just got
absolutely. But you got to take care of it. Like, man, listen, I've had issues with a lot of people, but what do? I pick up the phone. Hey, so and so, did you do? It's my trademark. Oh, look, it's a limited thing. Most of the time I tell them, run with it. It doesn't look like mine. I don't really care. Right? I mean, you got to protect. Your trademarks. You do.
Here's the one thing that people don't understand sometimes with trademark law. No matter how irrelevant or insignificant a small project seems, if you don't defend your mark with somebody who
then you're done, and then you're done. It
opens the door for anybody else.
That is correct.
You don't have the defense, because their defense could say, "Well, he didn't defend it there. Why is he defending it here?"
Correct.
And it becomes problematic. Sometimes I think Steve just had this issue with guys making shirts, and it's like, it's just a couple of guys making shirts, and consumers don't get it. That you have to be diligent if you want to protect your mark, because today it could be a small guy doing something honestly for fun, and tomorrow it's a big corporation trying to, steal your idea or concept.
It is. But getting back just to finish the story, so he's on with Nick Perdomo's on there, and Nick Perdomo made his cigar. It's called the Firecracker, and then in the middle of his show, I don't listen to the show. It was brought to my attention. Nick Perdomo was there like shocked. You don't need to do that. You're gonna badmouth me in front of another manufacturer. Live on your show. That's a punk move. You understand? He can get a hold of me. You understand? And like I said, I got nothing against him. Okay, he wants to go to war. Let's go to war. You want to talk about this like men? We're gonna talk about this.
I didn't think this was going to be such a conflictatory show today.
Yeah, but now he's
I'm loving
he's got to get on a flight and come see me, because I already did my part. I went to see him. Now he wants to keep going to war. Let's go to war.
So this is now a new cigar called the Wick.
This is just a cigar, just to shove it. You understand?
I understand, but it's a regular
to let him know. No, this is just for Lazona Palooza.
Okay, so it's a one-off.
Yeah. So again, it's the middle finger, and this is directed towards him. That's exactly here. There you go.
Well,
Espinosa's going to the mattresses.
Yes.
There you go.
well, alrighty then.
Yeah.
You heard it here on KMA Talk Radio. Maybe we
That's
should
right.
have Paul. Maybe we should get them both out on the show. See, we could.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I would love.
Call him now. Call him now.
I'm not going to call him now.
Call him now. Let's do it.
The guy's got his own show starting.
Why wait? So what? Call him now. See if he wants to come
in an hour or so.
No, you don't blindside somebody. I will reach out to him because I would be honored if KMA Radio could broker a piece.
And see if what I'm telling you guys is a lie. I flew out there just to see.
He would. I believe he would do it. I believe he would do it.
There's a lot of misunderstandings, but you know what? There's enough fighting going on in the world. Let's just make love, not war, right? So I will reach out and I'm gonna see that if I could maybe KMA can spread some love in the universe and broker peace. And
Again, I want you guys to know, and all your listeners, I personally have nothing against the guy. The issue I have is he's bad mouthing me.
He just made a middle finger shirt. But
I mean, look, dude.
He's got to know I'm alive.
It's very hard to say you got no problem with this guy. After the last 30 minutes.
I gotta let him know I'm alive. I'm not just gonna sit here and let somebody walk all over me. That's
I
not
understand. I'm just saying it's hard to say I have no problem.
No. What I mean is I got no problem with him picking up the phone and calling me and say, "Hey, listen, bro, let's squash this." Yada yada. It'll go no further. You talk to me like a man, I'm gonna respond to you like a man. You talk like a punk, then I'm gonna respond to you like a punk.
I don't know, but if Christy's talking to me that she's betting me that I won't call him, I'll bet you a signed dollar bill I'll call him today.
That's Christy's husband, Curtis.
I don't get my glasses hard to read. Okay, so yeah.
Call him right now.
Curtis.
I'm not going to call him now during the show, man.
All right, good.
I will reach out. You got my word. I told you.
You let me know.
Hey, apparently, the other Alan Rubin is the only person on Facebook and YouTube that doesn't know who we're talking about. Do your research.
Does that surprise you?
Listen to me. I forgot what I called him the other. What did I call him? I gotta look it up. Alan Rubin lives in a bubble. Hang on.
The other Alan Rubin.
The fake Alan.
Fake Alan Rubin. Yeah. You have to clarify.
What did I call him? Oh, I called him half breed. That's what it is. He's like, what do you mean half breed? Because he's blinded because of the segment of the industry he's been in. But we love Alan Rubin. He's always good and always fun. But yeah,
that's the fake Alan Rubin.
The fake Alan Rubin.
Yeah.
The fake Alan Rubin. Yeah, he just reminded me I did call him half breed. So I want to talk about a project that we did, right? It was the first time ever the La Zona factory had made a certain type of cigar, yeah?
Yeah, we
had originally designed this when you had talked to me to be a functional La Zona Palooza, and then you snuck us a couple early for our virtual event we had with you a month ago. But now these are officially out. And tell us about how it was for you, first time ever, making a Culebra cigar.
It's a pain in the ass, bro. Every idea you have is a freaking pain in the ass to freaking do.
Did you ever think you'd make a Culebra cigar?
No, I don't smoke Culebra cigars, but I mean, it was great. I love the name that you came up with. The project was great. The only issue was this whole COVID, not being able to go to Nicaragua. The first one we did, we didn't even have a band for them. We just had to put the color of a ribbon of the brand. And now, then we had to make the band, send them out there because we had a deadline. You're calling me, Alex is calling me, Matt Briggs is calling me. I got the whole world calling me about this. So we had to rush all these things. Not the cigars. The cigars were done, just making them, bringing them here into the States. But it's cool. I have never even smoked one yet. It's
really?
Yeah, I haven't even smoked
break one out during the show and smoke one. But this is look, I love the packaging you did because you had done the packaging. The La Trenza de la Zona, I think, sounds incredible. La Trenza translates into the braid, right? Some beautiful packaging made exclusively for Smoke Inn. And I'll show them the proper cigars because the ones you rushed didn't have the footer bands. But here's the beautiful 3 cigars wrapped together with each band at the foot signifying the line it is, whether It's the Laranja, the Habano,
and the crema.
So very, very cool. A great way to share a cigar with two of your friends. If you guys want to light up something cool, these are available now. And we have, I'm going to announce it here first. We haven't told anybody yet, but we have because one of the things, and I don't know, I'm going to talk about it. I was going to talk about one of the things you were talking about, shops that had made brands with you, right? Can I talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So one of the things Erik reached out to us about was he wanted to involve retailers who over the year had made projects with him. So we have the 601 Bunker Buster, which I love that cigar. That was my COVID cigar. I've been telling everybody. I smoked more of those during COVID than anything when we were quarantined. But we got a promotion next week in honor of La Zona Palooza. It starts Thursday. But anybody, and honestly, out of all our micro blends, one of the coolest packagings ever. In fact, I think if there were packaging awards in this industry, this one would get it.
Absolutely.
Some level of an award, because all the 10 cigars in there with all the 3 different branches of the military, and you turn them and you get the different picture. It really is one heck of a package. But anybody, we still have some left, not a lot. But anyone next week who buys one of the FUBAR, the Bunker Buster FUBARs, we're going to give them a La Trenza free.
Nice.
So you get one of these.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, you'll get one of these free when you buy any one of their. And if they sell out, they sell out. I know we got a little bit, but you'll get one of these Culebras.
I have never smoked a Culebra ever in my life.
You've probably never smoked a cigar.
No, I'm going to tell you something. Paul, since he started working with KMA, has become. But Paul has that in him. He's a wine guy. He likes it. He has gone into cigars and the culture of cigars, and he really has become a little bit of a cigar geek.
Yeah, I smoked before I was with KMA, albeit not super often, but I was in the marketing world, so that was usually a celebratory thing. You close a big client, you smoke cigars, but I didn't know it at the time, but I was smoking really only premium cigars as well. Didn't really know exactly what I was smoking. I knew what I liked. But a funny thing about Erik is anytime I've ever been in one of your stores when Erik was there, Abe, he always looks at me when I start to walk into the humidor. He looks at me and he goes, Hey, do the right thing. I'm like, all right, yeah. But I'll tell you, the Laranja is one of my go-to cigars. It's if I can't decide what I want to smoke, I always have some Laranja in my humidors here. It's always a cigar I will go to, especially if I'm like, I want to know that I'm going to like the cigar. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to have to deal with, because I try to try something new all the time, just because of the show. I want to try different things. But when you get one that you don't like, it kind of ruins that, like he's saying, the stress relief experience. So it's definitely one of my go-to cigars.
Paul, just to let you know, I know a lot of people bust your balls, but people bust your balls because they like you. But you're that guy that you can, that people want to bust your balls. No different than Alan Rubin, the fake Alan Rubin.
Yeah.
Your demeanor or what have you is, you got like a sign, hey, you can bust my balls. I don't know if you understand that. You're that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Story of my life.
And I mean no disrespect, but you got like a sign in your forehead. Hey, you can bust my balls. Am I right, Alex?
But let me tell you something. There's a certain testament to those people because they're the type of people that take that well.
Absolutely. Sure, and listen, I'm
not trying to compliment Paul here, but it's a fact. I mean,
I don't bust nobody's balls that don't get, right. So, but I love Paul to death. But it's like I said, he's got a sign that, hey, you can bust my balls. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I love him. I'll take a bullet for this kid. He's good.
Well, thank you. No, I get it. It's the way it goes. It's the comic relief side. When things get tense and we start talking about, doing a cage
people
match
copying, yeah. I got you.
So what else is coming up? So I know that with COVID, some things got slightly delayed and whatnot. But what are you guys working on that you can talk about that will be coming up? Or are we really just main focused on Lazona-Palooza at Espinosa?
It's one step at a time. Look, the biggest problem, I got the same issue that everybody else does. It's just getting down to Nicaragua, getting down to the DR, getting down. Every manufacturer has that problem. But the business is great. I mean, listen, the truth is, outside of everybody getting sick, and COVID has really helped our industry. I mean, there's a lot of people they're staying home, smoking a hell of a lot more cigars. Abe can tell you that. We're a lot of stuff we're making, it's just coming in and going out. But it's tough. It's tough to make new brands. If you notice, there's not too many new cigars. There's not too many new movies coming out. There's a shortage on cars, because this whole COVID bullshit. So it's tough to come up with something new that, you can't even work. Hector and I can't even go down there. How do we blend? Hey, put this in there, put that in there. Look, they've canceled my flight 7 times, American Airlines.
Guys have been now opting private jets now.
So I'll tell you a funny story. I got a friend of mine who's in the cigar industry. I don't want to mention his name. So he's on the same plane I am. And I called him up. Hey, dude, they cancel your flight? He says, yeah. So he says, why don't you call so-and-so? He takes a private plane and let's see what it costs. So I called so-and-so.
What, about $6,000, right?
What's that?
What is it, roughly $6,000 a seat?
No, my man. Hold on. Let me finish telling the story. So I called so-and-so and he says, I go, bro, how much does it cost you to leave from Nicaragua to Miami back in a private plane? He goes, oh, it's not that much. It's $44,000. And I said, okay. So I called my buddy up. I said, dude, pack your bags. We're going. Let's go tomorrow. 9:00. We're out of here. He goes, you called him? I said, yeah. He goes, how much is it? I said, it's $44,000. He says, let me know how it goes.
Well, that's to charter your own flight.
I heard it was $24,000 for a plane of 4 people. So if 4 guys,
yes, you're right. 24 one way and 24 the other way.
Oh, that's true. That's
true.
Yeah,
that's
true. Yeah. One way,
because the plane's got to come from Miami. It's not in Nicaragua. The plane goes from Miami to Nicaragua, Miami, Nicaragua, and back.
But they have flights. I'm surprised the industry doesn't use this more, because my industry does. There's like those apps like XO Jets, where you can get a seat on a private jet, so you don't have to charter the whole plane.
Yeah, who's going to Nicaragua, Paul?
Well, that's the thing. I'll look and see if there's any guys in Nicaragua.
A lineup of people going to Nicaragua. Yeah, we're going to Chicago.
Paul, here's your problem, Paul. The issue is not just going to Nicaragua. How the hell do you get back?
Right.
That seat fills up, and look, I don't want to get stuck in Nicaragua, for 3 months, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, but we'll get through it. And that's the reason why you don't see a lot of new cigars coming out and what have you,
But that's not a problem exclusive to you. That's like you said.
That's everybody. Listen, hey, you have a lot of back order issues, don't you? And that's one of the reasons, and the truth is, look, I don't know how it is in DR and Honduras, but in Nicaragua, a lot of people don't want to come to work because they don't have the testing that we do. And, even though, you separate them, you do that social distancing bullshit, but a lot of guys don't even know if they have it, they might be carriers, but, I sent a bunch of sanitizing shit down there, you know what I mean? Hand sanitizers, alcohol, what have you, mask, everything, and it's still tough. It's tough getting people to want to work.
Well, I think in the beginning too, what we had heard, I don't remember what manufacturer was telling us about it. Maybe it was Saka, but like the government was really downplaying it there, right? They weren't really talking about it. They weren't doing the testing in the very beginning, and now they've gotten more on top of like telling people to social distance and that type of thing. But I think that was a little bit of a concern as well for your guys. I mean, I'm assuming in your factory, you've had to deal with all of that too. You either barriers between the rollers or you just keep them far enough apart.
Well, most pairs, they're either relatives, husband and wife, brother.
Okay, so they're going home at the same place anyway.
Yeah. But they don't know. That's the problem.
Right.
I want to before I forget, reply to Hector, who just pointed something out to us. For some odd reason, which is not a correct reason, because I know Erik just sent this shipment. La Trenza is showing up out of stock. It is in stock and it will be up shortly. So
kudos to my boy Hector. Huh? Hector's good, huh?
He just posted it. I'm like, really? So I know it should be in stock.
I got my team handling your team. Look at that. Alex don't want to hear that. Look at Alex. Look at
Alex.
Alex. What's that? Look at Alex. Look at Alex. Cocaine, if you want to get done.
If we had cocaine, things probably would have got done.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
That's funny. I texted 4 people. I hope someone's awake to figure it out.
Oh, I'm here.
Boy. Here goes this show. This show's going to shits right now. The big man's pissed off right now, boy. Look at Alex. Turn your back, dude.
Well, we have this big wall for stuff that's out of stock. So when it comes back in, they're always supposed to check it to make sure that gets done. But so much. Maybe I need to make that wall bigger. Yeah,
I've seen that big wall. It's covered in Cigar of the Month boxes.
Maybe you need more.
We don't storm there anymore. We don't.
Maybe you need more signed dollar bills. I mean, I don't know.
That's his next office. It's going to be the wallpaper is going to be the signed dollar bills.
So I know pretty much it's Junior is pretty much the lead man and the brain now behind Lazona Palooza. How is he during this time? Because I know, like during the Great Smoke, no one wants to get like within 10 feet of talking to me at any given moment during the month of February. Is he stressed out? Is he stressing out over the event?
A little, I guess, because it is sort of his baby, him, this and the elite, everyone stresses out during this time, Me, they tell me what time I got to be on, and I go and I do it, You
show up like a rock star.
I show up and let's do it. Let's roll. What are we going to talk about? I can care less. And listen, kudos to your girl, Valerie. I mean, that was great. She called me a bunch of times. What are we going to talk about? This and that. I answered her phone call every time. I just roll with the punches. I don't really care what question you ask me. Let's go with it. Let's do it. If I don't want to answer it, I won't answer it.
She said you were very uncooperative.
No, she couldn't say that. She couldn't say that because
you did say like you didn't want to give no information. Like,
no. She said that when she asked you about the details of Lazona Palooza, you were not forthcoming, and I was like, well, he's not the one you have to ask about the details.
Right. I mean, but that's
probably why he wasn't forthcoming. He probably doesn't know the details.
She was on. Look, I don't have her number, but I'm getting a phone call from Canada. And every time I have one of these telemarketers call me, I like buy 3 insurances for my car. I keep them on the phone and all that. I'm thinking, here's a telemarketer. Look, thank God I don't know anybody money, so I know nobody's calling me to collect. So, I like to mess with these people. Yeah, I'll take 3. I'll take 3 of them. I have 3 cars. I want to do the extended warranty on 3, So I'm thinking as a telemarketer. All right, my name's Valerie. Great people, though. I mean, she's on her job, She really, and she's pleasant to talk to, I might not be pleasant to talk to, but she's very pleasant to talk to.
So better than dealing with me.
Why can't Coop come on, man? What happened?
Coop just texted me and said he's having technical issues. He's working on them, but he's not able to call in right this moment. I told him if he can come in. We can roll on the fly with him. But right now he's having some. I mean, listen, maybe he upgraded his internet and it's not working.
Virtual backdrop down, is that the problem? I mean, listen, the dude only does like 12 shows a week.
He's the best, though, isn't he, bro?
I mean, how does he?
He's great, man.
Right now,
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. Alex has got a hi-fi up. I don't know what.
Transfer is in stock. Transfer is currently in stock.
Good.
Nice.
Let me guess. You had to fix it yourself.
Nice.
Whatever. I got it done. All right. That's
nicely. No, Bobby. You didn't get it done.
No.
We got it done.
No,
Hector got it done. My
Hector
team got it done.
I
you
took
didn't
care
do
of the
shit. My team got it done, Bobby.
Collaboration.
My team got it done.
Thanks for the heads up, Hector.
Listen, just give me a week. I'll go in there. We'll clean house and then get shit done the right way. Just let me know.
Cocaine.
So Lazona, yeah, right. So Lazona Palooza is going to air Thursday, Friday night, starting at 6 p.m. each night. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, very cool.
You're coming on Friday, I believe.
I'm coming on Friday. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I was going to come on Thursday, but I think I'm doing another show Thursday night. There it is, Lazona Palooza. Wish you were here.
How I wish you were here.
I wish you the best of luck, man, because we're going through it ourselves. I mean, our digital Great Smoke, if we pull it off, will be historic.
Why wouldn't you not put it off, bro?
It's a lot of moving parts, Eric. Look, this production company we got out of Atlanta, like we're freaking out because these guys like take like 3 weeks to respond to something, and you know everything can't be done without them. Even just this inside seating, where the camera's going to be, and it's just an aspect that we've never dealt with, so we have no control over it. But you know, I think marketing wise, look, the package is out of this world, right? It's 40 like. Nobody's ever given us like their crap cigars for the Great Smoke since year one. It's always been a good quality smoke. Everybody's wanted to showcase one of their good brands.
It's a promotional event,
right?
You know, yeah.
40 premium, like top-notch cigars in a commemorative like Pelican case, Great Smoke Pelican case with a shot glass, with an official shirt, an official hat, a cigar band vault. It's a whole package, and it's like we're delivering it to $169 to everybody's door, shipping, everything included. So that alone is a hell of a deal. And then we have this broadcast, and hopefully the broadcast will be this amazing thing. I'm in my head, it's amazing. So we just hope it ends up amazing on the air. But you know, I
have breaking news.
Yes, shoot away.
Coop is able to come in. He's on now.
Shocking.
Coop's my
you
boy.
Want to bring him in?
Coop is
yeah,
good.
Bring him on. But anyways,
Bro,
if everybody wants to be in history, our tickets are still available, unlike Erik Espinosa's. It's at thegreatsmoke.com. Check it out. You can order your party box today. It'll give you access to some extremely awesome event day promotions and limited product that will go on during the broadcast. So go to thegreatsmoke.com. If you haven't done it already, I seriously urge you to do so. It's one hell of a deal, and I believe that we're going to try to make history. So try to be a part of it.
Cool. Can I stay on with Coop, or do I got to get out?
No, you can stay on.
Got to go.
Coop's one of my favorite people in this.
The Scoop with Coop. What's up, buddy?
Hey, nothing like technical issues to really start your morning and just snowballing.
What do you have? Internet speed problems?
No, it was a computer issue. It was a hardware issue. And I was trying to troubleshoot it, and then I'm seeing Paul's message. I'm like, wow, really, time is passing. And I just eventually went to another machine here. So
it seems to be working fine. It seems.
Yeah, this is fine now. Yeah, this is totally fine now. So you know, it's nothing like that.
Today.
He looks tired.
Well, yeah, I feel tired. I just feel like stressed out after this. You know.
Coop, you're looking like you're in desperate need of some vitamin D, buddy.
Yeah.
Really? I look at
that. Yeah. You're white, bro.
You're looking a little cat.
No, I'm using a good camera. I'm good. Don't worry. It's another camera.
Listen, you gotta have some coffee or something. You have like 6 more 8-hour shows today to do.
Right?
Coop, you should try some cocaine, bro. Seriously.
Bring back.
No, I'm good. I'm all good. Yeah.
Hey, listen. Don't keep yourself. That's going to be a political platform in 2024.
Yeah.
Let's legalize the cocaine.
There we go.
Don't forget the hookers. Don't forget the hookers, bro. Hookers.
There we go.
Should also be legal in every state.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, you're okay with that? Of course you are.
I mean, look. At the end of the day, isn't it kind of all for sale one way or the other? So
Absolutely.
So
you're telling me. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Coop, what is?
So yeah, it's you know, obviously it's been an interesting week. You know, Glynn Loope obviously was the lead story on a lot of things. With that era coming to an end, so
that was an era, wasn't it?
12 years is a long time. I mean, in any job, 12 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So, you know, that kind of takes, the lead there. But there were a few other things happening this week. COVID continues to be a it's COVID obviously continues to rear its head in the cigar industry, and another event was canceled this week, and that was a virtual event that was canceled this week.
Yeah, that's a little surprising. Yeah. That was a little shocking.
Well, and this is something that I've seen happen in a few other areas besides the U.S., and that's Drew Estate canceling the virtual barn smoker. So people are saying, well, why cancel a virtual event? That seems kind of odd to cancel a virtual event. But what's happening is they were going to do the virtual barn smoker at the farm, the Florida Sun-Grown Tobacco Farm. but apparently, logistically, to get the people they needed to pull that off, it was going to involve a lot of people being on the farm there, and as a result, they felt there were safety concerns for the people who were going to be working that. So as a result, that event was canceled.
I mean,
so that's like the first virtual event that was canceled in the industry.
It's a big company. They still have their employees working from home. It's a European-owned company. I mean, listen, you walk around the state of Florida, honestly, outside of everybody kind of being in masks, and they're not even everybody's in masks all the time, you almost wouldn't know COVID had happened, while other parts of the country is like still like in turmoil. So I think that was a corporate decision probably made by Swisher, and because it's definitely not like a Florida big thing. And it was just shocked to see a virtual one canceled.
Yeah, but I've seen this happen in some other industries already, so it wasn't a total surprise as far as that goes with it being canceled. It didn't catch me completely off guard, but it's something I didn't think of either. I didn't, because everything's been going virtual in the industry, and this was a little different than going on to a Zoom meeting too. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they could pull this off from everyone being at home and doing a Zoom meeting. So I kind of understand that piece as well.
Well, protocol cigars had nothing to do with it, because otherwise they'd be throwing a pool party.
They'd be throwing a pool.
You gotta love them though. Yeah.
Pool party wristbands during that.
That's cool. They have wristbands. Hey, okay, don't get near me. You can.
I'm green. You can get close.
Yeah.
I think that I had those guys on the show.
Who wants to shag tonight? That would have been
yeah. I think they were like the only cigar event that happened all summer that was of significance. You know what I mean? Well, I'm saying they may have been one of the larger events that happened during the summer.
Yeah,
they were close to 100.
They had to be one of the only physical ones that were people were actually there.
Yeah, they were the only maniacs that would do it.
Yeah.
What else you got going on, Coop?
Kevin Schweitzer, he's a friend of the show. He's been on the show. He works for a company called Rockefeller Cigars.
Or he owns it.
What? He owns it. They say it work. He owns it.
He owns it. Yeah.
He owns it. Yes.
He just got promoted. He didn't even know it.
Yeah, there you go. Or some people own the company and they don't realize they work for the company too. It's the other way around, right?
True.
Right. So he's got a new limited edition cigar hitting the market.
Cigar, a book.
Did somebody tell Erik to stop freebasing on air?
Easy.
Right. He's got a new limited edition cigar coming out. It's called The Art of Magic. And what was interesting about this is I remember when he was on the show a couple of months ago, he was talking. One thing I learned about him on that show is his love of magic and being a magician. And I didn't know he had that as a hobby. And I've known Kevin for a while. I just didn't realize that. Well, he is actually going to be teaming up with the Aganorsa Leaf Factory for a release called Art of Magic. And what's interesting about that is he's also teaming up with a gentleman by the name of Jesse Flores, who people may know from his tenure at Drew Estate, to do the artwork on the packaging. Jesse's daughter, Stephanie Nicole, she's going through a very difficult battle with cancer. So as part of this release, 5% of the proceeds are going to go to a campaign called Fuck Cancer. And that's spelled PHUCK. So I guess I'm using the word, I'm saying fuck cancer, but that's what it is. Yeah. And it's going to be a cigar, San Andreas Maduro wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's going to be a 6x52 release. And it's going to be a limited release with 200 10-count boxes being produced. All of the releases being numbered right now. So that's something you can expect to see on the shelves by early January right now.
Now I'm starting to think, do I need to get Kevin on the same show with Erik and Dave Garofalo and maybe Alan Rubin? Because I'm wondering if there's going to be the Art of Magic and Magic Toast now debate. Pretty sure by accident, but this is the kind of crap I'm talking about.
Abe, that's why you're Abe, man. Because I didn't even think
the guys into magic. I'm sure it had nothing to do with another, but KMA might have to settle another quarrel amongst the family.
Abe, a bunch of us media guys, we have we have a message thread in the media, and when we see releases come out, we kind of guess how long it's going to take before that release name is changed. This one didn't come up at all. This one didn't come up at all.
People don't see it all the time. I mean, it's that innocent, you know. It's people, like I said, I'm in retail, so I'm savvy more than most. But when it comes to other manufacturers, watching what other manufacturers do, man, it seldom happens.
Yeah,
it's seldom. And by the way, what media thread are you in that we're not invited in?
Oh, we can work that out. We can work that one out.
It's kind of messed up. I guess we're not. I guess we're not cigar media, Paul.
I'm innocent. I didn't start it. I hate those threads.
I just got a note from our news editor here, my wife, that it's official that Biden is the new president-elect.
Wow! They posted it during the chat, the conversation.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I got it at the same time. You were saying something about the magic. What was it that you said that would have an issue with it? Who?
Alec Bradley, Magic Toast.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. But, just the real Kevin, I met Kevin. I didn't know he was into magic because I'm into magic too, and I like magic. But
yeah,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
He's a real nice guy. Huh?
No, but he's really good at it.
He's really good. He lost $100 to your 5-year-old son.
Listen, am I not the only guy that got your dollar bill signed, bro?
Wait. He lost $100 to a 5-year-old. How good at magic could he be?
Wait, there's a difference. And let me just clarify. What Kevin done is real proper magic. You specialize in street, street con game magic, right? Here's my pee in a cup. Let me move around.
It's called street magic.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's more formal.
Kevin's like in the League of Magicians.
I'll never do another trick to your kid. No more for you. It reminded me. You remember my cousin Vinny when he the guy that stutters who kept asking questions, with the glasses, and he said, with the glasses, these you couldn't see, or they're reading glasses, and he goes, no more questions for you. So no more trick for your boy. He hustled me for $100, bro.
I got to see Kevin when I was up in New York because he lives, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes from where I was staying. So I met up with him up in Huntington at a smoke shop there, and he was telling me all about this before they had released it. And I was like, "This is awesome! I can't wait to smoke it." He didn't have it with him at the time, but but it's cool. He was telling me he's in the League of Magicians. He's been to the Magic Castle in California. So yeah, he's like a real deal guy. Like I think he did this for a living for a while.
Kevin is legit, and Erik is on the corner doing 3-card magic.
Oh.
That's the difference in the magic.
Hey, whatever works, bro.
Erik said a net
what
loss.
else you got going on?
It's different.
We got one more story. This was a lighter week with, I guess, everything going on outside the cigar industry. Crown Heads has announced a limited line extension to its Mil DS line. It's in the form of a 5.5 by 42 Maravera, and it's called the Mil DS Maravera Edición Limitada 20. So,
you can't even pronounce half the words in that news line.
What was that?
You barely could pronounce half the words in that.
Mil DS Maravera Edición Limitada.
It just sounds a little white coming from you. That's all.
He's just stressed out today.
I've been stressed. I mean, wow, what a morning when this happens.
Somebody take some cocaine.
Oh my goodness!
The theme of today's KMA show.
Clearly, the cocaine show. Erik, what lighter are you using? Because honestly, people think you're freebasing on the in between shots. Show us the lighter.
Right here, the ones
you must be holding it right to the mic.
He's got.
You must be holding it right.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
What's the difference, bro? Who cares?
I mean, you got excited about cocaine, and now people are.
Listen, you want to legalize cocaine? I just want to light my cigar whenever I freaking want. I mean, what the fuck? What's the difference?
All right, let's move
What's
off.
the difference? Right.
Let's move off the cocaine.
Yeah.
So, any other exciting and thrilling news this week?
Like I said, it was a slow week. That's pretty much it as far as news releases go. From a nationwide perspective. So, I think we'll see some. I think we're gonna, like I said, I think you'll start to see some more releases announced this month before the end of the year, and I think it'll slow down again in December.
Very cool. Well, while we have everybody on, for those of you who have stayed with us this long, I'd like to prepare our newest segment of the KMA show. This is the second time we're running it, and it's called "Who Am I?" And I'm going to read you guys. Do we have an intro for this? I can't remember, Paul.
It's not an intro, but hold on. I have the.
There we go.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Mama, do you do the fandango?
Thunderbolt of lightning, very, very frightening.
All right.
Look, I started.
We're in trouble. Okay, so I'm going to read you a little statement, and to all our listeners out there, and our fans, and even Erik and Coop, you guys can guess. You guys got to guess who this is. So here it is. Growing up, all I wanted to be was a professional baseball player. While I was a decent player in high school, it became apparent that baseball would not be a career option.
Juan Lopez.
Hold on.
Juan Lopez played baseball.
Hold on.
He did.
Yeah.
I was born in Cuba, but came to America when I was 3 months old. I learned many of life's tough lessons on the streets of northern Miami and eventually got into cigars. After many years in the shipping industry, I decided it was time for a change and was able to switch careers and got a job in the cigar industry. I was dedicated to learning the ropes from the bottom up. I had heard stories of my father growing tobacco back in Cuba and was determined to rise within the cigar industry. I have managed to rise from the ashes 3 times and today own a thriving factory and internationally known cigar brand. I like to cook, and I believe that you can't help but make great food when you use great ingredients. I practice that same philosophy in making my cigars. I believe if you love what you do, you never really work a day in your life. Who am I?
Juan Lopez.
I can't see the guesses because
I'm putting them up. Oh, okay. I'm putting them up now. Just look at your screen.
Oh, there you go. Hector Alfonso. It's not
Hector.
Not Hector Alfonso. Coop, any idea? Want to take a crack?
No, I'm still kind of digesting. I know it's not Hector. Erik Espinosa.
Well,
me. That's not me.
Let's see.
No, I saw it came up on the screen. That's all.
Listen,
that's one of the guesses.
Yeah, I just saw one of the guesses. That's all.
Rainier Lorenzo, Ralph Montero. I didn't know Ralph wanted to be a professional baseball player. Maybe
that one. I don't think it's Ralph.
Who else? Hold on, I have some more. I have some more.
AJ played baseball a little bit.
It's not Raphael. I saw Raphael's name come up. Rafael Nadal.
Overwhelming guesses is Erik Espinosa.
All right. Well, let's see.
Let's see. Who am I?
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
It was.
See, I got thrown off because of the whole Erik was on.
Because I said Juan Lopez, yeah.
Listen,
I didn't say that. I didn't think the guess would be the answer.
Does Richie Artero still work for you?
No, did he put Erik Espinosa?
Yeah, dude. Why is he guessing? Yeah. He knows your story. I mean, Jesus. Throwing it up there. That's like when my employees want to win a Smoke Inn Cigars.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
He's not letting it go. Like he put up there once. I'm like, okay, maybe he'll be. No, it's Erik. I know it's Erik.
Was that your Donald Trump impression?
Yeah,
Enrique Esposito. I think Chrissy got it right.
And now you know it's Erik Espinosa.
I was never good enough to be a baseball player. Always loved the game, but I was okay. Did
you put like Erik Jr. in like Little League or
He did. Listen, Erik. There's a guy in playing. He played third base for the Detroit Tigers. I think he moved on to the Cubs. Coop, who is third baseman for the Tigers like 3 years ago. Tall, lanky, Castellano.
Yeah.
Nick Castellano. Well, Erik grew up playing with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not telling you Erik was better than the kid and all that, but Erik was really good. And then as soon as I put him in high school, because they kind of recruited him in that high school, it was a private high school, he got burnt out. He said, "Look, I don't want to play this year." And I told him, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah, because Castellano was a big. He was a big prospect from what I remember.
Sure, and then you know, he just got tired of it. I still play softball. Him and I still play softball.
Right.
I traveled the whole country playing softball. I was a better softball player than I am a baseball player for whatever reason. And I still play softball.
Bigger ball, slower pitch.
Bigger ball, slower pitch, maybe.
Yeah. So I still enjoy it. I mean, you can't play now because of COVID.
Player than baseball player.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it was a great show. We had our fun. Looks like we now have a president-elect. Let's hope the insanity stops soon. Let's hope this country can somewhat learn to live together and get over the BS. Other than that, it was a great show. We hope everybody had a great weekend. Coop, thanks for coming on. Erik, as always, big success, big wish, great success for you next week. I'll see you Friday night.
You got it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Pleasure.
And a thank you to Glynn Loope for coming on as well today and sharing what's going on with him.
Absolutely.
As always.
And
yes, and what else?
Next week on KMA
Omar
is Omar Fernandez.
Jonathan Drew next week.
Good. I was 1 week off. At least I knew what was going on.
Jonathan Drew will be coming on November 21st.
November 21st. Okay.
Yes.
November 21st. We'll have Jonathan on.
Omar Fernandez's first time on. It could be the first time anybody's been on from AJ Fernandez. No.
Yeah, I've never met him, so I'm looking forward to it. I like when we have people that I've never met before.
Yep.
Good guy.
He's a good guy. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna call.
Perfect time.
So that means
perfect time.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect time.
We'll see you next week. Keep it lit.
All right, you guys be good.